Y'all are making me more nervous. My name is Rain, and I identify as a cat. I am currently creating my fifth life, I think. In the first life, I was the daughter of a kingpin and a 1990s it girl, which meant that my dad was in jail and my mom was not available because she was too busy living her life. In my second life, I was a teen mom, street homeless, and navigating all the social systems in New York City and seeing how fucked up they are. And then in my third life, I was a stay-at-home mom in a domestic violence situation, feeling like I would never get out of it. In my fourth life, I was an exotic dancer. And that was probably my favorite life because I had finally reached a place where I could take care of myself and I could take care of my kids. And I was having fun doing it. And I was getting drunk every day, so that made it funner. And then I had a moment while I was in the strip club, and I'm just looking around, and it's a slow night, and everybody's doing like this. And we had been doing like this forever, right? Like every night, all night, that's all we do. And for some reason, that day, I looked and I'm like, bro, we all look like cockroaches that have been flipped upside down. So I'm like, I'm not a fucking cockroach. And I look to the left of me and there's a dancer who's like in her mid-50s. And I'm like, you cannot be in your mid-50s and be in here still like a cockroach. And I look to the right and there's a girl who was using her sister's fake ID to be able to work there because she wasn't even old enough. And I'm like, girl, you didn't even give life a shot for real. Like, what are you doing? And up until that very moment, nothing that people said about what I was doing bothered me. And I had heard it all, right? Like, you're shit, you're a hoe, you don't care about your kids, blah, blah, blah. But none of that rang true. Like, it didn't bother me because I knew that that wasn't who I was. But in that moment, I felt like, oh shit, what they said is real. And you can't be her. You weren't her, but you can't be this girl either, this lady. And so completely an egotistical thing, I'm like, I have to prove to myself and everybody that I'm not a cockroach. And a friend of mine who is online, Shalonda, she introduced me to Jules TV. And she doesn't know how often I used it, but I was using it enough to get to a space where I had a lot more awareness. And she was a catalyst in a lot of ways because I followed every step that she did. So she attended an herbalism apprenticeship, and so did I, because I was watching what she was sharing, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then when she sends me the Jules TV stuff, I start watching meditations. And I'm like, oh, this is okay, but sitting quietly is not helping me. Not because it wasn't helping me, but because the inside of my mind was a dark fucking place. I didn't trust my own thoughts because my own thoughts took me to places where I made really bad decisions in my life. But the decisions, I never felt bad about them or felt regret for them because I'm like, oh, you're doing the best with the cards you were dealt. And I thought that's all that I could do is take the hand that I was dealt and try to make something of it. And that's what I was doing, and I was doing fucking good at it. I was vacationing. Me and my kids were shopping every week, going out. It was life. But I still didn't feel happy. There was still something inside of me that knew that there was more for me. So I just continued searching and became obsessed with self-help like Lizzie. And honestly, I never found the thing I was looking for. I ran to different religions. Last year got initiated into an African traditional religion. And maybe like 3 months later, I was yelling at my altar. Like, I spent all this fucking money and my life is still not fixed. I thought that this goddess was supposed to come and just make it all better. And I was so angry. And my spiritual godfather just kept saying, like, it's you. You have to make the decision. And I'm like, so what the fuck was the point of this ceremony and these altars and all this thing? And he said, you have to figure it out. So I started to pray on the way to figure it out. I definitely abandoned my spiritual practice in the process. And then one day, Shalonda shares the MTT thing. And I was tripping on fucking shrooms, and I didn't even remember applying for it. So when they email me back and say like, oh, pick a date for your interview, I'm like, oh shit. Like always, I'm in it for the plot. So I'm like, let's just do it. And what I've learned in this space is that I've literally been in it for the plot. And I haven't been in the driver's seat of my own life my entire life. I've been letting the situations in my life drive the car while I was in the back getting drunk. And what I've learned here is that I get to be in the driver's seat. And every time I sit on the cushion and meditate, I get to learn a little bit more about who I am, aside from what my mother did, what my dad did, what anybody did, whatever is going on in the world. I get to learn who I am. And I still don't fucking know who I am. I'm not even gonna sit here and pretend. I'm trying to figure it out, but it feels good to say that I get to learn who I am and love myself and create anything, because I totally believe that karma shit where it's like you have infinite power to create whatever you want. And I'm like, oh, I could create whatever I want, but first I have to build trust in the things that I choose. And that's what I'm doing when I sit on the cushion. So for anybody out there that feels like they have to create something with the cards that they were dealt, I'm here to tell you that you can make your own fucking deck. And you can play the game the way that you want to. You can create your own game. So I invite you to do just that. And that is it.